to ingratiate yourself to him
No.
so that he wouldn't spank you harder or punish you, even though Jesus took your punishment?
Yeah.
Would you be looking to ingratiate yourself to him?
No, I think the Christian God is a moral monster, a genocidal maniac. I wouldn't ingratiate myself to him. He'd be threatened to punish me. That's just further evidence that he's just evil, in my honest opinion.
Well, it's easy to judge another man's God, the wild heart, but
It's
I,
easy
I,
to
was-
just
I
tell
was
about.
talking about God. I was talking about God, not another man's God, but
No,
God.
God, as I understand it, the God of the Bible, that's the only God that I know of without being specific. He's a moral monster, a genocidal maniac, and I wouldn't ingratiate myself to him. He'd be threatened to torture me forever. That's just my answer, though, and let's face it, what
Uh-huh,
do I?
uh-huh. Do
Yeah.
you think he's offended by your ungracious rating of him?
No, I don't think he exists. I mean, the character of God in the Bible. If he did exist, then what I said wouldn't matter. But I don't think he exists, so it doesn't. JG, any opinions?
Hey, where
Oh,
did Ace go?
coffee break. I think.
I've found Ace to be a difficult man to amuse sometimes. You know, yeah.
He laughs a lot at JG, to be fair.
What's that?
No, Sen Tommy said that Ace can be a difficult man to amuse, and I was just saying that he laughs a lot at you, to be fair to Ace. He does laugh a lot at you.
No, he laughs at the version that he creates of me. Ace is he's well known for building straw men every day.
Yeah.
He's doing it again today.
Well, he's got chickens, so that makes sense.
Plenty of straw, plenty of time. I've noticed that a lot of these universalists get off on mockery, and Tommy isn't.
You do make
Tommy
it
is a
easy.
universalist.
It's not atheists do it as well. You do make it easy
Yeah,
to mock.
yeah,
Right.
atheists do it as well, right? There's a commonality between atheism and atheism, definitely.
And humans in general.
Like when people complain about Sean Eagle laughing,
Yeah.
to say that the complaint is about Sean Eagle's joy is just ridiculous. He pops on a stream and just starts laughing,
But that's
and
personal taste.
people can't hear the conversation because he's laughing.
I would say if you're a very miserable, kind of dull kind of person, then you might find that, offensive or.
I'm trying to make a point here, Wildheart. He
Finish.
purposely comes on the stream and laughs over people so the conversation gets chopped up.
I don't think so. I think he just laughs because when he finds things funny, I do the same. Most humans do. They laugh when they find things funny. JG, have you ever laughed in your entire life?
Yeah.
You really? What? When the last time you laughed?
I can attest to that, Wild Heart.
I can actually, yeah. It was a trick question. I've heard him laugh as well. It doesn't happen often. That's what I'm saying. St. Tommy, can you ask JG the same question you asked me? Or be interested in?
No.
That's fine. So see. That's fine.
I was taught never to ask a question unstrategically, arbitrarily.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit rigid like that, according to my traditions and training.
Never ask a question to someone who won't give you a straight answer. I get it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't ask a question unstrategically.
Yeah.
And also, if I ever ask JG a question, may I ask God first if I want the truth. If I want the truth. And then, after God reveals to me something, if he chooses to, then ask JG.
Yeah.
In other words, don't ask a question you don't know the answer to,
Yeah.
or that you don't
Or
understand the
don't
answer.
ask, don't ask a question.
Knowledge is very sticky. It's very sticky.
Don't ask a question you don't want the answer to as well.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Don't ask a question that you don't want the answer to.
Yeah.
Don't solicit a confession that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
You guys think it's funny that Ace has like 5 people read his morning essays every day?
No, he has more than that. He's only got 10, 15. He's got a lot more than me. Like 10, 15, I think.
Like, do you think it's funny that a man has to write his little morning feelings and then have other people read them for his pleasure? You don't think that's funny?
Not funny, no. He's just putting something out
Oh, I
there
guess
that-
we have a different sense of humor.
No,
That's funny.
he's just writing his thoughts out, and if people want to watch it, well, obviously some people find it interesting, so he's like providing a service. I wouldn't call that funny.
I guess we all can't be lion tamers. I guess we all don't have the same calling.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. The thing about this setup here on YouTube, this community, it's basically we all engage in these philosophical and theological discussions. That's pretty well known that that's what we're doing here. So when we get into the realm of like pointing out and critiquing others' personalities and their sense of humor, that seems like a deviation from what we actually do most of the time. So
It
what I
is,
see,
yeah. That's just me. I was just trying to make fun of you. Yeah.
no, I understand, but I'm saying even this, what Ace is doing here is a deviation because he realizes this is what I would suggest. He realizes he's at a point with certain people where he can't answer their fundamental questions, or he can't account for the discrepancies that are being pointed out in his version of the scriptures. So he's moving to a position that's similar to a straw man or a red herring, where he focuses on the character of the person instead of actually addressing the person. And we saw that last night where he was controlling Eric and kept popping him out off the screen, and then he'd go on a long tirade and let him pop in. So I think he's just resorting to a character attack now is what he's doing.
I don't think that's it. I do the same thing with Jill. I bring him up just to put him backstage constantly. Just to
you do character attacks as well. That's true.
No, I find some people just amusing to annoy.
Right. So you're right there with him. You want to ridicule people instead of the content.
I think some people are just, deserve mockery.
Right, because your standard is whatever you make it that day.
No.
Your feelings are your standard.
No, they're not.
Oh, what's your standard?
What for morality?
Well, yeah, it's all interrelated, isn't it? The reason you decide to treat people a certain way.
No, I have a subjective decision that I make that morality is about well-being. Once other people agree with that, then you can make objective.
Yes, thank you. Once other people agree with that, exactly.
Yeah, if they don't, then
then you go nowhere. And exactly, if they don't, then you go nowhere in your theory, in your conversation. You're stuck. Thank you.
If they don't agree that well-being is the foundation of morality,
which is interesting too, because right away you're moving into an ad populum, trying to get people to agree, consensus.
No, I'm not trying to get people to agree. It's just most people would agree that well-being is the basis of morality.
It's a subjective term in a sense.
It is subjective, yeah. It's subjective.
Your whole theory is subjective.
What makes objective better than subjective?
Well, what do you think? What makes truth better than opinion, right?
No. What makes objective better than subjective?
Because it wouldn't matter what you thought about it. It just would be in place. It doesn't matter what the subjector thinks about it. It just is in place already. It stands on its own.
Let's say that
Wildheart, you don't understand what I'm saying about the.
I'm sure I was in the middle of a sentence then, JG.
Not really. I mean,
rude.
You already skipped over something.
What I'm asking is,
you're skipping over it again.
Again, you
I'm pointing out you're
interrupt.
skipping over something
Again.
and you're skipping over again. I
I'm not even
don't really
saying-
enjoy talking to you, Wildheart. You're just you're the same as you were 3 years ago. Just the same
not-
subjective.
I'm not even started to ask the question yet. Why are you interrupting me? Can I
Not
finish?
interested in you, dude.
Expressing contempt is a impoverished retort. And if you're gonna rate your interlocutor, may you do so graciously.
Yeah, is that a moral attestation, Tommy?
Yes.
No,
Good.
can,
What is your moral system based in?
No, before I forget, can
My
I?
moral system is my own.
Yeah,
and
I'm
me,
asking about
God,
the
reminding
system
you.
itself. I know it's yours. I'm asking about it.
Is your moral system the most perfect in the neighborhood?
Ladies and gentlemen, you see what you have here. You just have people
Sorry, can I
talking
get
about
back
and
and finish
subjective
my question?
preferences.
JG, shush, stop talking over
I'm not
people.
interested in talking to you,
He's
Wildheart.
triggered. He's triggered.
I am not at all
Wildheart.
interested
Too
in you,
late.
Wildheart. Not at all.
That's fine.
You got a problem with
Perhaps
that?
you could
Are you
buy
gonna-
some earplugs.
If you don't want to start me,
Are you going to make?
No, carry on. I'll shush. That's fine.
Yeah, right. I mean, if someone's not interested in talking to you, so be it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
It's the same thing as the agreement. Like you said, you need agreements to move forward because you're into dialectics.
Please said Tommy. Yeah.
I'm afraid you've been judged as not worth humoring, Wildheart.
Well, Tommy, I
As if-
was
as
trying to
if
ask you
God-
about.
As if God doesn't like you.
Yeah.
As
No, I
if
don't think
JG does not like you.
To be honest, though, it goes both ways because JG is beneath my contempt, and I don't think he's really worth talking to either. So, yeah.
Tommy, I was trying to ask about your alleged moral system. You just say it's your own. That's already apparent that it's your own. Talk
Yeah.
about it. Talk about how you came to it. What the standard is.
Are you talking to me or said Tommy?
I'm talking to St.
If you
Thomas.
must force
Okay.
a confession, I confess that I have been spoon-fed everything that I understand in my semi-retarded way since birth. Spoon-fed by God. And I'm just like you. And I'm just like Wildheart. I do not claim to have the perfect moral standard. I don't claim to have God's perfect moral standard and then go around bitching and complaining to other people in the neighborhood that their standard isn't as godly as mine and label it as subjective and punk other people that God may like more than I do.
Okay, all you did was give a peripheral idea of how you came to a system. You didn't actually explain anything.
Your rating of my rhetoric is noted.
Okay, but you didn't.
I note
Tommy.
that you get triggered into rating other men's rhetoric and that you begin to overtalk. I give
You
you an
didn't
answer,
explain
you don't
anything.
like it, you rate it, and you dismiss me, and you go around complaining about ad hom.
Tommy, you didn't explain anything. You just went on a
Says
little
you.
tirade. I
Says
am
you,
saying that's correct. I am saying that.
as
And you're
if
here,
God,
Tommy, calm down.
as if God.
Yeah, okay. So it's just the same thing with you guys. It's the same rhetoric.
Well, then quit.
All right. Take care.
JG, before you go, I was just going to ask, do you think that me and St. Tommy have the same rhetoric? I'm an atheist. St. Tommy is a I don't want to call St. Tommy. Do you class yourself as you're a theist? Oh, yeah. I think I'm safe for that. Yeah, we don't have the same rhetoric.
According to your word.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying we definitely don't have the same rhetoric.
I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, we are unique creations. You know, we are unique, have had unique backgrounds.
Yeah, and you
I mean, gee whiz, is there any surprise that we would have different moral standards and different understandings of who God is? Is that a big surprise?
No, that's what I'm saying. I obviously have a different moral framework than you, but you were saying you people, like I presume including both of us, have the same rhetoric. We clearly don't. I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong or you're right. I'm not saying. I'm just saying we clearly don't have the same rhetoric. I'm gonna go to JG basically. He was just wrong as usual.
Let's solicit a rating, shall we? Do pray tell your opinion, Wildheart. Whose
Yeah.
rhetoric is most gracious in the neighborhood?
Gracious.
Yes, gracious.
I will go with Universalist over your most traditional Christians. I don't know how to describe them. Like the majority of Christians, yeah.
Well, that's a broad label. Could you narrow it down to any individual?
No, not individual.
Okay.
But there's 60,000 denominations, so I would say the majority of Christians believe in hell and Ace doesn't. So I think that's a better rhetoric because hell doesn't exist. There isn't a place where people get tortured forever. I would call that morally a better.
Do you believe that preaching moralism is ingratiating to God? Do you believe that teaching moralism to other children is ingratiating to God?
I once thought so. Like an all-powerful God, I don't think he would care about humans. He just wouldn't. It's like humans caring about ants. Like you have an ant farm with, like, say, 1,000 ants in them, and you bother. Are you bothered about what they're thinking? They're ants, you know what I mean? They're just so far below you. To judge them on what they think, especially with God, after you created them, it's just.
Oh my God!
I wouldn't care. If I was God, I just wouldn't care what humans thought. Obviously, it's so far below me that, not in a bad way. Like, just get on with your lives and, do what you can. But I wouldn't punish them for